Hey, this is Kamari, and today we're going to be making Draculaura's chain neck piece thing. So what we're going to start is by making the chains that hang down. The chains are a little different in the back and the front of the doll, but I just kind of combined the two designs so that it's the same thing on either side. I got a big thing of chain from Michael's and then cut it into little strips because her chain is broken up and then has these heart links in between the sections. So to do that, I got a package of heart-shaped charms, and in between each piece of chain put the heart charm and then connected it with jump rings, and this is my first time using jump rings properly, so I found another video on YouTube on how to use them, and I'll link it in the comments below so you guys can learn something new too, just like I did. So kind of keep doing that down the length of the chain until you get to the end. We're going to end with a heart charm, and that's where we're going to stop for now, so that we can make the bats later, because each of her chains ends with a bat on the end. Now we're going to make the base part of Draculaura's neck piece. I started by taking a piece of tissue paper, cutting a hole for the neck of my dress form, and then it's a little hard to see with the lighting, but I just pinned it to the dress underneath and then took a pen and just started sketching out the base designs, and this is what we're going to use for the pattern for the craft foam that the actual neck piece is going to be made out of. And I just did the one side because it's symmetrical. So now we're going to fold it in half and cut it out. And this is what the pattern looks like after it has been cut out. Use your pattern to cut the base of the neck piece out of craft foam. I ended up having pieces that were too small, so I had to add a seam in the center front. And then take your extra craft foam pieces and just start cutting out all the little details and glue it to the top of the base piece. Keep going until all the designs have been glued on. For the heart-shaped bats that hang off of Draculaura's chains, I cut them out of the craft foam, same as I used for the neck piece. And for each bat you're going to need 2 bat shapes, 2 hearts, and then 1 little jewelry hook. So I assembled it all together, making a sandwich. I took the jewelry hook, put it in the center, and then glued another bat on top of it to sandwich it in, and then I glued a heart onto each side so that the end result looked something like this. I then brushed a layer of glue on the top to act as a sealant. After the glue dried, I then coated everything in 2 layers of black acrylic paint and then covered everything in a gray acrylic paint. It also took about 2 layers. Then I took a little bit of the black paint and just dabbed it around all of the raised edges to give them a little bit more definition, and covered all of the remaining gray parts with a glitter paint. I then glued some ribbon onto the back of the chest piece, added on some Velcro, and then on the opposite side I also glued on some Velcro so that they can be Velcroed together without the Velcro showing. To attach the chains to the dress, I wanted to make them removable to make it easier to wash the dress, so I hand sewed 2 split rings on either side of the neckline, and then to the top of the chains I used a jump ring to attach a clasp, and then the clasp I just clipped onto the split ring to attach the chain to the dress. I then put on the chest piece and threaded the chain through the heart-shaped holes on the chest piece. At the bottom of the chain, I attached a D-ring and then another clasp, and then used that to clip the bats onto the chain. And with that, the outfit is done.